Claire Abbott is a hard-working nurse at United Plaza Hospital. She is a visionist and thinks everything through, like the plastic covers she has put on the sofa, just so it is easy to clean. Serena is Claire's best friend and a dancer, but because her family wants her to finish her education, she goes to night school. Serena has bought breakfast, but Claire has to leave for work. Serena reminds her of her performance that evening and asks her not to be late. At the hospital, Claire brings a bouquet for one of the patients, Mr. Samuelson, who is not in a good mood because he is in pain, but cannot be administered any pain relievers till his test results are out. She convinces him she'll let him know as soon as she hears from the doctor. But Mr. Samuelson is not satisfied and throws away the bouquet she bought for him. The fellow nurses are not very welcoming. They are garrulous and impolite to the nurses who mind their businesses and work hard. They joke about Claire's dating preferences, but Claire doesn't mind these kinds of jabs. Hearing the nurses' rude comments, the janitor Jonathan takes the bouquet from Claire. At lunch, Claire gulps down her food, so she isn't late for her next duty. Claire meets with another patient, Peyton, who got her appendix removed. Claire takes her vitals and sees her point shoes. Peyton tells her how much she misses dance. Talking with Claire brightens her face. At the end of her shift, Claire is getting ready to change when Lena, her superior, walks in and asks her to clean up after a patient. Claire protests that her shift is over and the patient is Lena's patient, but Lena threatens her with a bad performance report. Claire is left with no option. She has worked very hard in nursing school. She cannot afford to jeopardize her job in any way. Claire rushes to the Metropolitan Center, where Serena is performing that evening. Her seat is on the balcony, so she takes the elevator. The elevator is shared by a server bringing the food trolley for the reception after the dance performance. As the door is about to close, Luke Taylor comes running towards it, stopping it in the nick of time. He gets in, and the elevator starts moving. Suddenly the power goes out. The boy carrying the food begins panicking. Claire tries to calm him down while Luke searches for an emergency button. There are no lights and no signal inside. The performance is still going on, so they have to wait till it gets over or somebody notices the lift is out of order. Luke and Claire pass their time playing shrimp basket, while the server keeps a tab on their score. Luke asks Claire the reason she's here tonight. She tells him about Serena and then asks him the same. He tells her he got a free ticket from his boss. Suddenly someone calls from outside, and they ask for help. Soon a repairman gets on with the work. Luke is not much of a fan and doesn't even know the name of the event. Claire fills in that tonight's performance is called the Swan Lake performance, and advises him to stand up to his boss, rather than give in to doing something he is not interested in. But he doesn't mind till it makes a good impression. They chat about other things, like Claire expressing how she wished she could be outside seeing the performance with her mother, who passed away a few years ago. Luke says he would have been painting if he were not here. Nevertheless, they enjoy their time together, and Luke confesses he is glad he got stuck in the elevator with her. He wishes to see her again once they get out of here. The lights come back, and the repairman asks them to help him open the door from inside. Once free, Luke turns to get a look at Claire, but she is busy collecting her things, and her hair covers her face. He could not see her face as Dr. Fredericks called him. Claire is out too and sees Luke shaking hands with Dr. Fredericks, whom she recognizes. Serena also comes running to meet Claire. She takes her to meet other dancers. Claire and Serena are walking. Claire asks her to sign a card for Peyton, her patient. Serena tells her she cannot imagine being stuck in an elevator, but Claire says it was not bad because she met someone. She doesn't know much about him, only that his name is Luke and she had a lovely time with him. The next day at the hospital, all the staff members gathered around. Claire asks one of the nurses what is happening, but none of them knows. Dr. Frederick introduces Dr. Luke as the new doctor on the team. Claire immediately recognizes him. Dr. Frederick asks everybody to introduce themselves. When Claire introduces herself, she thinks Luke will recognize her, but he doesn't. Claire is a bit upset, but she doesn't let that affect her work. She goes to meet Peyton and gives her the signed card. Luke has attracted the attention of all the women in the hospital. One after the other, they keep flocking around Luke, asking to take him out for a drink. Luke maintains his distance from them. Then Claire walks in and tries to introduce herself. Since Luke has not seen her face, he doesn't recognize her and thinks she is also flirting with him. He gets annoyed and shouts at her, saying he has come here to help people, and asks her to back off. Claire walks out of there but cannot stop wondering why he doesn't recognize her. Serena comes home and finds Claire baking. She asks her what is wrong because Claire bakes when she is upset. She tells him about Luke and how he ignored her. Serena asks if he recognized her because she was dressed up and they were in the dark. Claire doesn't know, but she is upset about how he behaved with her when she tried to talk to him. She is convinced she read into things differently and decides to let it go. Dr. Frederick asks how Luke's first day was. He says it was fine. Dr. Frederick tells him that their patient Mrs. Godfrey is the major donor to the hospital. He asks him to take special care of her and check she is as comfortable as possible for as long as she wants to stay. Luke assures him he will take care of that. He is wrapping up when the janitor walks in to clean the room. Luke starts keeping things in his locker, but drops his wallet along with the ticket to the dancing show he was supposed to attend. He picks it up, and the janitor asks him if he wants to throw that. He politely declines and keeps it safely in his locker, thinking about the lady he met in the elevator. He hasn't forgotten about her, but he can't recognize her either. He introduces himself to the janitor and impresses him with his humility. Stanley is Claire's colleague. He and Claire are waiting outside a food truck to buy lunch. Stanley asks Claire to apply for the position of the head nurse. He thinks Claire is perfect for that position. She has filled out the application, but she is not sure. There is a lot of politics involved, and she has no connections. Stanley gets a page from Lena, so he has to leave. He takes Claire's application from her and runs, saying he'll deposit it with HR because Claire wouldn't. Soon after, Luke comes to the food truck and greets Claire. He apologizes for snapping at her because everything is new. He is being subjected to a lot of awkward flirting, and his frustration poured out on Claire. Claire accepts the apology, and they share a friendly chit-chat while waiting for their food. Whitney and Lena come to know about Claire's application for the post of the head nurse. Whitney is tense, but Lena assures her she will not let Claire take that position. Lena plans to torture Claire, so she quits on her own. Claire has just finished all the work and is about to eat, when Lena barges in and gives Claire another task. She wants Claire to give Mr. Samuelson, their toughest patient, a bath. She tries to take a blood sample, but Mr. Samuelson gets defensive. Lena takes pleasure in seeing Claire having such a hard time. Dr. Luke and Dr. Anderson are passing by. Lena takes this opportunity and feeds a lie to them that Claire has a terrible bedside manner. Claire is done for the day and is leaving, but Lena will not let her go. She says they are understaffed for the night shift, and Claire has to be there again, leaving her no choice. Claire is attending Mrs. Godfrey. Luke comes to talk to Mrs. Godfrey. Her condition is deteriorating. Mrs. Godfrey is a strong woman. She is not at all afraid by the news and says she has had a long, happy life. Better than most people. Besides, Claire provides her with an excellent company. She then starts telling Luke what a catch Claire is. Claire gets embarrassed and leaves on the pretext of filling Mrs. Godfrey's water bottle. Mrs. Godfrey then turns to Luke and says, when you find someone special, don't let them go. Luke ponders over this thought. He walks with this thought when he meets Jonathan cleaning the corridors and shares it with him. Talking to him gives Luke hope, and he walks back with a smile after thanking Jonathan. Luke makes his way to the Metropolitan Center and tells the receptionist he is looking for a woman, but he knows nothing about her. So he asks her if he can get access to the list of the people who came for the Swan Lake performance. She denies it and cannot help him much without any information. Luke leaves disappointed. Peyton's infection doesn't look good, and she is left all alone because her mother is busy working. So Claire keeps her company and looks after her. Luke sits with Mrs. Godfrey to keep her company. She talks about her love life and how she enjoyed dancing. She turns to Luke and asks him when he is going to find a woman for himself, but he has not found the one for himself. Mrs. Godfrey again vouches for Claire, but Luke thinks it is a good idea. She makes him promise he will take Claire out once despite all his protests. In return, he asks Mrs. Godfrey to look at some treatment options for her. She makes a deal with him. Luke finds Claire in the cafeteria and tells her about his deal with Mrs. Godfrey. She agrees and is secretly happy. Luke and Claire eat lunch together and talk about all the basic things. There Luke gets an idea, and he goes to the Metropolitan Center again and asks for the caterer's information, hoping to find the waiter who was with them in the elevator. Claire is attending Mr. Samuelson, and he is making a fuss out of choosing from a liquid diet-only menu. Mrs. Godfrey is taking a walk when she sees Mr. Samuelson shouting and maltreating Claire. She feels terrible for Claire and waits for her to leave the room. She then goes in and talks to Mr. Samuelson. She asks him to behave and refuses to leave till he agrees to do so. He unwillingly agrees. At lunch, Claire sees Luke sitting alone on a bench. She goes to him and asks if everything is fine. He has had a long shift and is tired but doesn't want to talk about what is bothering him. She doesn't push him much and offers him a chip from her plate, and he happily accepts. She starts to leave, but he just wants to get it off his chest, so he shares that he was reminded of one of his patients from the previous hospital, who was left paralyzed waist down because of his decision. Nobody blamed him, but he still felt guilty. She gives him some assurance, and he thanks her for lending an ear. Claire goes to see Serena in her dance studio. She talks to her about Luke and how there might be something going on between them, but she is not sure yet. She has come to like him more now that she knows him better and still thinks about that night, but she cannot say that about Luke. He said he was interested in someone else a while ago. Claire is confused and wants Serena's advice. But Serena is not much of a help in advising, so she gives her a distraction. Her birthday is coming up, and she wants Claire to get the things she has texted her as gift options for her birthday. Claire promises to get her the things. Peyton's infection is spreading, and Luke asks Claire to put her on different antibiotics. Stanley meets her after Luke leaves. He has good news. The new head nurse will start in the position at the end of this month. But their conversation is interrupted by Lena, who asks Claire to straighten the supply closet. She also says there is going to be a party for the fundraiser and wants maximum staff there. But Claire has to cover the shift that night. She bullies Claire, but no one can say anything. Claire brings balloons for Mr. Samuelson, and he doesn't shout at her for the first time. He tells her that doctors have told him he has pericarditis and wants to keep him for observation. He shares how he feels about that and asks her if she has even been in the hospital like that. She tells him about her mother. She then asks him if he wants anything before leaving. He asks for new batteries as the clock has stopped. It is symbolic of what he was referring to in his conversation with Claire. Claire seems lost in thoughts as she prepares to leave after her shift. Luke comes and asks if she needs to talk, but she says she'll walk instead. She offers if Luke wants to join, and he accepts her offer. They stop at a toy store to buy Peyton a gift. Claire chooses a penguin with Luke's advice. They are talking when Luke gets an emergency call. It is Peyton. Claire asks if she should come, but Luke assures her he will take care of it. She gives him the toy they bought for Peyton as he leaves. The following day, Claire sees Peyton's mom crying and realizes something is wrong. She runs to Peyton's room but is surprised to see Peyton doing absolutely fine. She asks her how she feels, and Peyton tells her that she was not feeling well. But Dr. Luke came last night and changed something, and now she feels much better. She asks Peyton why her mom is crying. Peyton tells her that her mom got demoted, and she cannot handle the news, which is why she is bawling her eyes out. Luke tries calling the catering service to ask about that waiter. He makes up a story and asks them to call back. Jonathan walks in to clean and asks if he is having a party, but Luke says it is a long story. Jonathan assures him he has plenty of time to listen. So Luke shares his story of the mystery elevator woman with him. Claire is cleaning Mr. Samuelson when she notices red patches on his legs. After she is done, she catches up with Luke and lets him know about the patches. She tells him they were not there before. She is worried about them, but Luke dismisses it, saying it could be eczema. He hurries off as he gets a call. He finally managed to get hold of the waiter, but he didn't prove to be of any help, except for the information that one of the dancers gave the ticket to the woman stuck with them. Luke is on his round when he decides to check Mr. Samuelson's rash. The next day he meets Claire after her shift. Lena also gets free at the same time and sees Dr. Luke with Claire. She seems suspicious of them. Claire and Luke take a walk. He appreciates her for pointing it out and tells her the further course of action he is going to take along with Dr. Frederick. He asks if Claire has a few minutes to spare and decides to show her his paintings. Luke hands Claire a paintbrush and asks her to try her hand at painting. They start on their own canvases but soon switch to adding to the other's canvas. They have a great time completing each other's paintings. After they are done, Claire picks one of his paintings and compliments it. He asks her why she likes it. She describes the painting as a light standing in the darkness. It is his recent creation. He cannot control his feelings when he tries to wipe the paint off her face and leans in for a kiss, but soon pulls away. He apologizes for crossing the line. Even though he says he is interested in someone else, he seems to be interested in Claire too. Disappointed, Claire leaves. In the hopes of finding his mystery elevator woman, Luke visits the Metropolitan Center for the umpteenth time. He goes to the auditorium and asks the dancers if they know anything about a girl who got stuck in the elevator on the performance night. But no one knows anything, and he leaves empty-handed. That day Serena got late for her rehearsals. Mrs. Godfrey is not feeling so well. She has accepted her fate and refused any treatment. Claire helps her get in bed and warm up. At that time, Luke walks in, but seeing Claire there, he says he'll come back later. Mrs. Godfrey asks Claire what happened. Claire tells her things didn't work out between the two, and Luke likes somebody else. Mrs. Godfrey is not blind to what is going on in the hospital. She knows about Lena mistreating Claire into working so much that she won't be able to make it to the fundraiser party. Mrs. Godfrey takes things into her hands and, along with Jonathan, Mr. Samuelson, and Peyton, plans to send Claire to tonight's fundraiser party. They arrange a dress and shoes for her. When Claire finds out, she refuses to leave them unattended. So Stanley walks in to cover her shift. Jonathan tells her that he has known Luke for quite some time now and he has feelings for her. But he warns that Luke is also hung up on a girl he met at a dance performance. Claire knows precisely what he is talking about and smiles at the frivolity of the situation. She agrees to go to the party. She puts on the dress and the shoes and runs with excitement. She cannot wait to clear things out with Luke. Claire reaches the party and spots Luke. She makes her way to him while trying not to be seen by Lena, but Lena catches her hiding behind the flowers. Claire manages to escape and walks straight to Luke. Luke is surprised to see her at the party. He apologizes for the other day. Claire understands why he was confused, so she proceeds to tell him how she feels but is interrupted by Lena, who insults Claire in front of everybody, calling her an opportunist, and alleges she is using Luke to get to the head nurse's position. She also accuses Claire of misconduct for abandoning her duty. She doesn't let Claire explain herself and fires her in front of everybody. Luke just stands there as a silent spectator and asks Claire to leave, as she is creating a scene. Embarrassed, Claire runs away and goes back to her apartment. Serena finds her crying in the dark. Claire tells Serena everything. Serena gets mad at Claire for not standing up for herself. She encourages her to do something about how she is being treated, and take the plastic out of the sofa. Take risks because there will always be a time when things don't go according to our plans. Claire gets defensive and backtalks to Serena about not being able to stand up to her family about her dancing career. Her words hurt Serena, and she leaves. Claire is at the hospital the next day. She visits Peyton to give back her shoes and say goodbye. Peyton thanks her for taking care of her. She packs her things from her locker, and Lena comes again to mock her. While leaving, everybody stares at Claire, and Luke does nothing to help her. He, too, turns a cold shoulder toward her. Once back home, Claire finally removes the plastic from the couch as it irritates her. Serena comes with breakfast, and the two patch things up. She tells Claire she will quit school and take up dancing as a career, no matter what others say. Luke visits Mrs. Godfrey in her room. She is very disappointed with Luke for messing things up between him and Claire, and she reminds him of the regret he will have because of what he has done. Dr. Frederick checks with Mr. Samuelson, but Mr. Samuelson asks for Claire. Dr. Frederick tells him she doesn't work there anymore. That is it for Mr. Samuelson. He gets very furious at their poor judgment of people who do nothing around, and see patients as a nuisance and people who actually care about their patients. Dr. Frederick soon starts noticing what Mr. Samuelson said was right. Lena doesn't do anything and makes other nurses do her work. He finally decides to rectify their mistake and sends Claire a message asking her to talk to him. Peyton is being discharged. Luke sees the Swan Lake card with Peyton. He asks her where she got it from. She tells him Claire gave it to her, but she couldn't enjoy the dance as she got stuck in the elevator. Hearing this, Luke's expressions change, and he realizes what a blunder he has created. He immediately calls Claire, but she doesn't pick up. Luke thinks of an idea. He sends his painting to Claire with a note and asks her to meet. Even though she was mad at him, she still missed him. So Claire decides to go. When Claire gets to the toy shop, Luke is there waiting for her. He calls himself names like blind, selfish, and spineless, and he lets what others say cloud his judgment. He apologizes profusely for not taking her stand when she needed it the most. He explains the inspiration behind the painting he sent her. It is what he created the day he first met her. The light in the painting is Claire because when he was stuck in the dark elevator, Claire came as a light. He confesses he didn't know his mystery woman was Claire. He did everything to find her because there was something very special about her. He then met Claire in the hospital. She challenged him when he needed that. She listened and cared for him, and this made Luke fall in love with her. He considers himself the stupidest, luckiest man, because he was trying to find a girl everywhere when she was right in front of him all this while. Claire has forgiven him because she has a big heart and it is full of love for him. She has confidence now that she can handle anything. Claire joins back as the head nurse. Everybody is thrilled to have her back except for Lena and Whitney. But Claire isn't one of those who takes revenge. She treats Whitney and Lena with compassion even after all they have said and done to her. Luke and Claire finally start dating.